It's much better now.
In advance.
Solomon Wilcots joins us now. Solomon, great to have you on. We had you on a couple of weeks ago before the Bengals-Titans matchup, and it went about like you said.
Yeah, you guys were laughing at me, man. I was taking body blows. Pow, pow. I was like, oh.
Don was off that night.
I was going to say, I was off, so I missed all of this.
Yeah. Oh, they were wearing me out, man. I couldn't tell you. They were like, they just knew that number one seed was going to do all the work.
Yeah.
Hey.
You think about that watching the game? God, that Nashville station, man, were they wrong?
Yeah, Wilcots was like, well, if this happens and this happens, Cincinnati will win this game. We're like, yeah, great. Okay, moving on. Titans fans are still upset about that game.
Man. Listen, I appreciate Mike Vrabel. I think he's a great coach. Not a good one, but a great one. I think he teaches the game the right way. Yeah. And he was looking stunned at that scoreboard in the final second. He was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding? I could just see it. Are you kidding me? How did this team come in here and beat us?
It wasn't supposed to happen.
It wasn't supposed to happen, man. It just – but this is what I tell people all the time about the NFL. This ain't no best 4 out of 7 kind of deal.
Right.
We don't play no series.
Right.
We play one day.
Yep.
And on any given day, I'm telling you now, anything can go down.
That's the beauty of
especially
sports,
if we pick you off on the first play of the game.
Man.
Now,
open up like this.
Yeah, see, and you know what that did? It hijacked the crowd.
Yeah.
It hijacked the confidence of the opposing team. That's called, like in a boxing match, it's like coming out, bam, hitting them in the mouth.
Yeah.
Right? You just hit them in the mouth, and now they're like, everybody like playing on the heels now. Everybody knows that when Jesse Bates intercepted that first pass of the game by Ryan Tannehill, the entire crowd for the rest of the day had angina. They couldn't quite breathe. What was about to happen here? But that's how it happens. That's how you go into someone else's place and beat them.
Yeah, that's what you got to do.
It's about momentum, and it's about stealing that energy that they normally use to play bully ball themselves.
So this is a great segue into what you've got going on today.
You've
got a guest with you, and I think Titans fans collectively needed one of these BioHeart machines.
They did.
Right?
They really did.
All season long, actually.
They really did. Because the post was at a whole nother level, and I'm joined by the architect and the inventor of the BioHeart heart monitor. Wilcots, tell them about the BioHeart heart monitor and just how much information that you can share with your doctor and really help you if you're someone who has suffered from a cardio event.
Thanks, Solomon. Thanks for having me, guys.
Hang on. Let's make sure we got your mic on. Come on, Kirby.
Kirby's
turn
moving.
him up. Turn him up.
Turn him up. Turn the doctor up.
There you go, Doc.
He's
Doc.
clearly the smartest guy sitting here right now.
He's too well dressed to not have a mic.
Right.
Let's go.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Solomon. Thanks for having me, guys. So a little bit just about Biotricity. We're a medical device company, and our product's actually used by 1,500 cardiologists. And what we found is that it's the number one killer, but cardiac patients and people with risk, they don't actually have something to monitor them for personal use. Sports fans, you have athletes that actually have intermittent or asymptomatic issues and they drop in the field. And so we took all our medical technology and converted it into a monitor that you can wear and collect days, weeks, months, years of data, as opposed to like something on an Apple Watch, which is 30 seconds of data.
So this is a lot of prevention taking place right here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's exactly prevention. And, one of the things that people don't realize is that a lot of this stuff, that's why they call it the silent killer. Nobody actually knows what's happening.
Yep.
And so if you have a device that can actually collect long-term data, you can actually see that information. And you can actually go back in time. Otherwise, it's
Do you have it on, Solomon?
I have the heart monitor on.
Nice.
And you're looking at the app. It's on my cell phone. And I can literally record on my cell phone, right? It's like an EKG.
Yeah.
And I can
Looks like
record
EKG.
that data, and then I can share it with my physician, right? So I don't have to wait till I go to the doctor's office saying, hey, here's what I experienced, here's what I felt like. And then if I don't feel that way, if I feel better while I'm at the doctor's office, he's just going to say, okay, well, let me know if it happens again. Well, I may not be back ever again.
Right,
so,
if something's really wrong. Yeah.
This is going to allow me to record the data, what's going on, and we need long periods of information. Like you said, some of these episodes happen intermittently, every now and then. And so I can record this and share that data with my doctor. This is phenomenal remote biometric monitoring. It's
Probably
phenomenal.
good for people too, like me, who have anxiety and panic attacks and stuff like that, to kind of determine if it's something like serious or
If it's more physical or
Correct.
psychological,
Yes,
right?
correct. Yeah,
Absolutely.
There you go.
Does it matter for age, or it doesn't? Because a lot of high school students you see falling
laugh
out.
'cause you
and
know it's true.
I had
it's
a
true.
partner of mine that coached with me, and one of his kids collapsed on the floor, and they had no idea he was in great health, but
No, that's
could've
exactly
seen
right.
something.
Actually, we designed it so it's actually better for both older. So the bigger problem is older generation and younger generation
Gotcha.
because they're not just compliant. They don't want to wear anything that's a medical device that people can see. So we made it. You can't tell that somebody's wearing it. It's a strap. You just go about doing you can go play soccer, go play football, do whatever you're doing, and it's collecting the data. So.
Gotcha.
Bioheart.com is the website there. So Solomon Wilcots, as a former Bengal, which fan base is going to need to hit this Bioheart.com website in this game coming up this
It
weekend?
might be good for all of them to wear it during the game, because I think it's going to be that kind of game. Remember, Zach Taylor, head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals, was standing next to Sean McVay in 2018 when they lost in the Super Bowl to the Patriots. And then just a week after that, he was hired as the head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals. Lost a lot of games over his first 2 years, including last season with Joe Burrow, where he only had him for the first 10 games. But Zach Taylor has really grown as an excellent play caller. He really has his finger on the pulse of his football team. He was right here in L.A., so he kind of knows the lay of the land, right? Where the traps are. Tell his players, stay away from there. Don't go hanging out with those guys downtown getting tacos, right? And
2 in the morning.
but no, this is going to be a good game because you guys know this. I think Titans fans know this. You can sack Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
But it don't mean you can beat him, right? I've never seen a guy who literally manages a game in a way where he'll take a sack before he throws a pick.
Yeah.
He'll take a sack on first down knowing he still has 2 downs to get another first down.
Yeah.
He ain't taking a sack on third down. I saw him manage a game in a way that I never saw a young quarterback. Most guys, get sacked that much. Dude, they're rattled. They're shook. They ain't shaking that off and still coming up, making plays, throwing the football. But he took some of those sacks. All 9 of those weren't on the offensive line.
Right.
Okay? But he knew the complexity of that Titans secondary. And, hey, Bayard and those guys, they're really good on the back end of the defense. You don't just throw it carelessly into that secondary.
Yeah.
So he was going to take the sack, knowing it's first down, I'll come back on second and third to convert and get a new set of downs. That's operating at a whole nother level of understanding how to manage a ball game. I do know this. He came from behind on the Chiefs, Week 17, 3 times down 14 points. Yeah. In the AFC Championship game, he came back down 18 points on the road at Arrowhead. Not an easy place to play.
No.
This guy's got greater poise than you would ever think, and he plays from the neck up as good as any quarterback I've ever seen 2 years into his career.
So what is it? Let me ask you, what is it that's driving him? We understand Joe Burrow. We understand his defense is pretty good, especially in the trenches. But what is it that's driving him? Is it the coaching when you look at him and you think about the game and they maybe get too cute or maybe out-coach themselves as far as the opponent goes? And then you look up, man, you're in a dogfight. You're like you said, Mike Vrabel looking at the clock like, hold on, wait, what happened to the time? So what is it with Cincinnati? What's putting them over the hump?
If you look at the postseason games, there are 3 playoff games. Every last one of them ended with the Bengals defense coming up with an interception.
Yeah.
Right? Got one off Derek Carr,
Yep.
closed it out. Got one off Tannehill at the end of the game, closed it out. Got one off Patrick Mahomes, end of the game, closed it out. So when you do that and you have a quarterback that manages a game in a way that he's going to set you up next thing you know, he's sticking in the dagger. They have a field goal kicker that has kicked 4 field goals in each one of their 3 postseason games. That dude is putting in work, and he's just a rookie.
And he's very confident.
He's very confident. And so 12 points a game just in the kicking game. So it's enough, man. It's enough to turn things into the favor of the underdog. It's just you don't have to be a world beater. All I got to do is be better than you on that day.
Right.
And the Rams are beatable. I mean, I don't know why everybody's sitting around here acting like Rams. Greatest show, at SoFi. I mean, but they're the Rams. I respect the Rams. They are a good team. But we saw them take their lumps this year.
Yeah.
Your Titans came up in here on a Sunday night game, and Jeffrey Simmons just put it on them.
About that guy.
Kevin Byard put it on them.
Yeah.
They're beatable. Why are we sitting there acting like this is an impossible thing?
Yeah.
We need to just play this game today and get it over with.
You're ready, man.
I want to go back
love
to the Zach Taylor McVay kind of connection because you mentioned it. He was standing right next to McVay
That's right.
last time in the big game.
Yep.
So, how much of an advantage is that? Do you really think? I mean, from the outside, we can say, "Oh, it's an advantage." He knows how he thinks. He knows how he play calls. He knows all of that. But on the inside, how much of an advantage is that for Zach Taylor? Even if it's just a mental of McVay maybe thinking, "Okay, well, he knows this is what I like to do. This is my tendency. Do I need to change it?"
Good coaches, they understand X's and O's, so they understand tendencies, right? That's what you kind of just described. But really, really good coaches understand psychologically how you tick, what makes you tick, how you think. What are the things you're most concerned about? What are the things that you would do in certain situations? Are you protective or are you proactive? Spend enough time with someone, you get to understand how they think, what the psychology is, and it is that kind of information, that kind of data, right, that allows you to leverage, I think, the ability to put together a game plan that will attack certain areas and make you think. I'll give you one. In a game like this, every coach, because you have 2 weeks to prepare, you should have a trick play. If you don't have a trick play, you should have a play in the game plan that you have not run all season long because you got 2 weeks to practice it. You can't do this during the regular season when you only have 1 week. So you got 2 weeks you should have, and you better run it early in the game. Right? When people are least expected, right? Late in the game, when the game is on the line and critical moments occur, it's like, okay, watch out for this, watch out for that. Early in the game, people don't know what to watch out for because at that point, you're still getting a feel for the game. Right. So that just gives you an idea, in knowing how that other guy thinks, that's where I would look to implement that play based on what my read is on that other opponent and on that coach psychologically.
Solomon Wilcots, Emmy award-winning broadcaster at Solomon's Wisdom, former Bengal DB, and does a podcast on the Believe Podcast Network with
we had our boy Blaine Bishop on there.
Yes, you did.
Prior to the game.
You did.
Yeah.
They laughed at me too, just like you guys did. She didn't. You
I was
guys
off.
did.
We get to talk with your co-host tomorrow, Adam Pac-Man Jones here.
Oh, you're gonna love that.
Hey, listen,
that's
man.
my boy. Y'all remember Adam? Y'all remember?
Yeah, that's
that?
my man. That's my man. He
yeah.
FaceTimed me before the
Okay,
game started.
cool.
It was after the interception though, and we made a bet, so I owe him a Jeff Ruby steak.
Oh,
but-
you gotta get him down there.
He wrong for FaceTiming me and making me do that after the pick.
I
He's
know.
sucking me in.
That ain't
man.
right.
He's
That
sucking us
ain't
at
right.
Atlanta stuff,
That ain't
man. That's
right.
at Atlanta stuff.
Thanks for having us,
Yes,
guys. We
thank you,
appreciate you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Doc.
Tell everybody they can go to www.bioheart.com if you want to take a look at this heart monitor. You have someone that you're concerned about, family, friends, or loved one. This is an excellent device that'll give you peace of mind.
Available without a prescription, too, which
That's
is great. Bioheart.com. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
All right, there you go. Big game coming up this